So, why can't Hubble Space Telescope, as pictured here, take photos of the Earth, or this earthly plane, as I like to call it? So we'll get into that in a few moments, but first let me give you my explanation, or the real explanation, better said. As you can see here, if you look closely, this is a CGI photo. First of all, some people even believe that there is no telescope, no Hubble Space Telescope, and if there is, it's underwater. But either way, it's underwater because we're living under the firmament. You understand? The waters of heaven and the waters below, and the waters of the great deep abyss. So this earthly plane, or this flat earth, if you will, is why there's no satellite up there that takes photos or videos of this place that we live, because they would only pick a flat earth, and there's some of them are just too close to the so-called lower orbit that they couldn't get a wide angle view of the earth. You know what I'm saying? A full spectrum view of the earth. All that stuff you see on Soho and all that, that's all CGI stuff. You know what I'm saying? For like showing all the planets and all that. They put all that in there. You know, and if they don't, those are called the wandering stars. You know, as the ancients called them. You know? If you look at the word planet, look at it carefully. It's a plan net. It's a plan to keep you trapped inside this net of time. If you look at the word time, it's tie me. You understand? So we're stuck on this planned net inside of a time, tie me bubble, inside of a time bubble. Because where the creator and all the angels exist, and even the demons and their evil spirits, they exist in a plane of existence where there is no time. That's one of the reasons they can't die. You understand? At least not by our hand. So that's why NASA or Hubble can't take photos of this plan net, this network, this web that we live in, because we're trapped here in this plane of existence. You understand? So now let's go and check what NASA's got to say. First, I just Googled it to see why, you know, and then I went to like this website here, Earth Sky, and found out what NASA officially says. So let's check out what Google says first. Okay, Hubble's cameras have been calibrated by taking blurred pictures of Earth. Okay, so great, that's awesome, blurred pictures. But the telescope cannot slew fast enough to compensate for the speed of its orbit, which there is none. So taking sharp photos of objects on Earth is not possible. Contrary to popular belief, the Earth or the Moon is not too bright for Hubble to see. So they're saying it's not bright enough for Hubble to see, but they can take photos of a galaxy or something a billion trillion light years away, but it's somehow we're not bright enough to see. Okay, great. So back to that photo. And here, oops, sorry. It says now it's saying it can take photos as small as objects as small as 0.3 meters, that's 30 centimeters, but it's not possible to turn a telescope in an Earth observing direction. Here's why. First, the brightness of the Earth will damage the instruments aboard a telescope. Whoa, hold up. Let's back it up for a second. Didn't it just say, contrary to popular belief, the Earth or the Moon is not bright enough for the Hubble to see? So, who's right, who's wrong? NASA or Google? Second, the HST would have to look down through the atmosphere, which would blur the images and make the actual resolution or sharpness of the images of Earth images worse than theory suggests. But they can see objects as small as 0.3 meters. Right there in their own paragraph, in their own site, it's saying they could see objects as small as 30 centimeters, but if you look through the atmosphere, it would blur these images, as theory suggests. Finally, the Hubble Space Telescope orbits the Earth at a speed of 27, there's your 9, per hour, or 17,000 miles per hour, there's your 8. Its speed in orbit above Earth is so fast that any image it would take would be blurred by the motion. Well, but they make those cameras where if you wave your hand, it'll capture the image still. But they couldn't put that on the most advanced telescope in our known universe. Interesting. So, bottom line, it is not possible to use the Hubble Space Telescope to observe Earth. Great. But it can observe galaxies and nebulas and all this crazy stuff that even if it were out there in existence and it was possible, that there one day we could reach it, as they want you to believe that we're going to have a space force, we're going to travel the stars. We're stuck here. You understand? Inside this bubble, inside this firmament that the Creator created to keep us, or even if it wasn't Him, because He didn't create the time. After the war in heaven, the time was created for us to be here. You understand? So we can't even keep this earthly plane clean and free from toxins and radiation. Do you think the Almighty Father is going to let us spread our corruption all across the universe? I doubt that. And if there was any way possible to get past that firmament, that bubble that we're in, it would have to be through a portal, a wormhole or of some sorts. It could not be possible to actually go past the firmament, which is written in the Quran and which is written in the Bible. So you figure it out.